Hey guys, Jamie here, keeping it koi. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. So as you've probably seen by the title, today is the results. Which silicone has come out on top? Now in just a second I'll spin you around and we'll remind ourselves on what we've done and what we've tested, and then we'll get down to testing them. As you can tell, I'm squinting like mad because it's an absolutely red hot day today. We're having a bit of a heat wave at the moment in England. We are at 37 degrees in this pergola right now. So yeah, I'm a bit warm. Shouldn't have worn, should have changed my top really, but never mind. But yeah, we'll spin you around and we'll have a look and we'll get straight into it. Right then guys, that's the three we're testing. The first test is the ease of application and bottles. The HA6 unfortunately comes out on the bottom of that because the nozzle, it's the same as the CT1 nozzle, but it doesn't have a lid, so that loses out on that. The CT1 is, again, they are very weak nozzles in comparison to the Pond solution. This nozzle is absolutely solid. It's got a much better grip down here. It's a lot stronger up here. So yeah, you've got a lot less chance of damaging that if you dropped it or smashed, you know, it's a stronger lid. But I do like the idea of being able to put a cap on your lid and having it then last you till the next day, the day after, without having to keep chopping down the nozzle or trying to clean out the nozzle, blah blah blah. So on the bottle side of things, the CT1 and the 300 MS300, sorry, they're going to get a point each on that one. The next one we're going to look at is cost. Now, bit of a variant on the cost. Now the HA6 averages, you can find it slightly cheaper and you can find it slightly more expensive, but I've searched high and low around the internet. The average cost for HA6 is £6.99. I've done the same with CT1 and my Pond MS300. The CT1 averages £13.80 and the MS300 is £13.99. So cost wise between these three, HA6 wins hands down. Now CT1 is ever so slightly cheaper than the MS300, but if these two tie in the end, yeah, I don't know if it's focusing in, yeah, there you go, you get 290mm in the CT1, whereas the Pond MS300 you actually get 300mm. It was confirmed that's what the 300 stands for in the MS300, so it's the Pond 300mm of sealant. Now the HA6 being the cheapest, it also has the most in it. It's going to focus, yeah, there you go, 310mm. So by far, cost to ratio, the HA6 wins hands down, followed by CT1, followed then by MS300. So yeah, the two stats we can do before actually seeing how good the sealant are. MS300 has won one, with CT1 winning one and HA6 winning one. So far it's even Stevens. Right, well, if you can remember my tests from last week, we got all sorts of stuff stuck to stuff. We've got the woven type liner stuck to a bit of everything. We've got the rubber EDPM liner stuck to a bit of everything. We've got some metal at the back that it's stuck to there as well. And each one is stuck in that order: HA6, CT1 and my Pond MS300. So I don't have any fancy scientific tools to see how much weight each one's going to take to pull off and that kind of thing, but I'll do it by hand, and I will be extremely honest as I can to let you know what's coming out on top. So what should we start with? I think we should start with the glass. Right, let's see if we can pull these off. Now these were all cleaned before putting them on. Obviously it's just got dusty being out here. Move that out of the way, keep that on a flat surface. Right, if we start off with the woven liner on the glass and see which ones come out on top. So the HA6 absolutely nothing. No sticky to it at all. And this is why I've said it to hundreds of people when people put posts on Facebook and that kind of thing. Why does my pond keep leaking? These woven liners don't stick to anything, and HA6, this is why my pond always, my old pond always leaked. But yeah, I mean that is pretty good on the glass. I ain't gonna get that off with me nails, that's for sure. Right, onto the CT1. Exactly the same. It did feel a little bit stronger, but not by a lot. The bit that stuck to the glass, on the other hand, the HA6 feels a lot more soft and rubbery. The CT1 is rubbery, but an awful lot harder and firmer. Yeah, I ain't getting that off. Break me now before I get that off. And lastly, the MS300. Does the MS300 stick to woven liner? No, but it was the strongest. Oh, flipping out. Ooh. Well, yeah, I would say MS300 on glass with woven liner has come out on top. Okay, sticking with the glass, the EDPM liner, is it going to come out any better? So EDPM versus glass versus HA6. Not stuck as well as I was expecting, to be honest. Again, it's stuck to the glass really well, but yeah, didn't stick to the EDPM. Very good. So that's answered that question. CT1. Now that is stuck. I can pull it off, but I'm trying to do it without breaking the glass. Yeah, I managed to get it off in one piece without breaking the glass as well. But as you can see, the HA6 has just left a clean spot. The CT1 has actually left some CT1 on the liner. So I think it was the CT1 that has given more than the actual liner itself. But as I said, it is 37 degrees in here today, so that's probably why these are a lot softer. But yeah, as before, it ain't going to come off the glass. MS300 on EDPM liner. Oh, flip your neck. Carl, I think you've invented something good here, buddy. I think we've got a hands down winner on that. I ain't going to be able to get that off without snapping the glass, because this glass is very, very, very thin. Ow, and very, very sharp. Just stabbed myself with a corner of it. But yeah, that is well and truly stuck. No chance. So EDPM to glass, MS300 wins. Right guys, gonna do the perspex next. Just in case anybody decides to fit a perspex window, which I have seen it done before. And again, we'll go with the HA6 first, and the woven liner. As expected, woven liner does not stick to silicone. Does HA6 stick to perspex? Not very well, no. If I spent enough time, as you can see, I could peel all of that off. That's not sticking fantastically. And again guys, everything was wiped down and cleaned beforehand. Yeah, eventually if I spent enough time I could peel that off. It's stuck, but it's not like it was on the glass, shall we say. Okay, CT1. Again, as expected, doesn't stick to woven liner, but it does stick to perspex, at least a hell of a lot better than HA6. And lastly, MS300. Yep, that was me moving the perspex, by the way. Ooh. And again, yeah, no, by far that is stuck better to the perspex than CT1. I managed to break a bit off, but that weren't even the bit that was stuck to the liner, to the perspex. That was just the, yeah, no, that is where it's touching that perspex, that ain't budging at all. That MS300 is outperforming CT1 by miles so far. And I tell you what, I've worked with CT1 for many years on a almost daily basis. I use it a good couple of times a week in my line of work, and I tell you what, I was not expecting it to be beaten so easy so far. Anyway, on to the EDPM HA6. Again, not really stuck to the liner at all. Look, just left a nice clean spot. Again, we've already tested that on this, and yeah, look, HA6 is peeling away. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but yeah, it has actually been 2 weeks since these have been stuck down, so they're well and truly had time to cure and set. Anyway, CT1, and as you can see there, the CT1 has stuck better to the liner than it has to the perspex. And again, it is really stuck in certain places, but not as well as the old MS300 down there, that's for sure. Right, last one, MS300 perspex with EDPM. Yeah, again, it is pulling off, but again, that could just be because of how hot it is today and the fact that that's softening up. But as you can see by the grip on there, that took a lot more force to pull it off than the CT1, and it's left plenty of MS300 behind, where it's teared the MS300 rather than peeling it off the perspex. So again, EDPM with perspex goes to MS300. And just so you all know, I am not being paid by Carl to do or say this. This is a genuine test, and my honest opinion, I honestly thought CT1 was going to give MS300 a run for its money. But so far, no, not a chance. Right, EDPM on woven liner. I'm pretty sure we all know what's going to happen here. Yeah. But again, you could peel, this is the HA6, you could also peel it off the woven liner. So those people that use HA6 and moan that their pond keeps leaking, now you know why. It's not ideal for ponds. Yes, it is a marine grade silicone, as it clearly states on there, but this silicone is actually designed, or was initially designed, to actually put fish tanks together, to silicone the fish tanks together, which is why it's performed really well on the glass and nothing else so far. Yeah, so the CT1, as expected, comes straight off there, and again, there is no chance I'm going to peel the CT1 off that. And the same with the MS300. So I'm afraid on that one, the CT1 and the MS300 is a tie. I really feel like we shouldn't bother doing this one. Woven liner to woven liner. If you've got a woven liner and you get a puncture, can you really repair it? No. Nope. Nope. I'm afraid I can't really give anyone a point for that because they all peeled off exactly the same. I know where before with a woven liner I did give it to my Pond MS300, but no, they were all exactly the same on that. So nope, no points, no score. Either that or they can all have a point. But yeah, this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. Rubber liner to rubber liner, obviously EDPM, same as all the others. Which one is going to perform best out of this? Most of us that don't have fiberglass in a koi pond will have this type of liner, and if you get a puncture or a tear, can it be repaired? As long as your liner's clean, because that will make a big difference. Right, let's go for the HA6. I'm expecting it to be quite easy actually. The silicone itself holds together really well, and it's a very flexible, as you can see. Look, it's got a very good stretch to it. It's a very flexible silicone, but it doesn't seem to stick to anything else very well other than glass. So CT1 on the other hand, oh no, it is coming off. It's left a bit behind. Actually no, there is a thin coating on there. Again, if I spent enough time that, I could peel all that off. It would take me a while because it's all now coming off in bits, but yeah, I could probably peel that off there. But it certainly beat HA6 by far. Let's have a look at the MS300. Again, like it's still left on the glass, are we going to be able to separate it? Hopefully I'm doing this in front of the camera so you can see it. But yeah, that I could pull it apart eventually. It is starting to tear, but the bond on the actual, here it comes, on the actual liner is still there. It's the silicone itself that's split. So the adhesive power of the MS300 is crazy. The only reason that's come apart is I've got half of it on there and half of it on there. But yeah, by far, hands down again, rubber liner to rubber liner for patch repairs, MS300. And I'll repeat again, I am not being sponsored, I am not being paid. This is a genuine test. Now here's an unusual one. Not very often would you need to stick liner to wood, but this test is more to see how good the silicone itself has stuck to the wood rather than how good the liner is stuck to the silicone, if that makes sense. But yeah, we'll use the old, or do the old HA6 first. Obviously the liner comes off really easily, and again it is stuck, like it has stuck to pretty much everything other than the woven liner, but it is coming off in one piece. Real flexy one. If the next time I get a bit of CT1 or MS300, I'll show you the difference. No, that's not HA6. That's HA6. But yeah, I don't know what this one is. I can't remember, but look at that. Very little give in that. HA6. But yeah, I can't really say what that is, so we'll have to see if we can get one off later. CT1. Again, it's actually come off okay. Again, there is CT1 still stuck to there, so it does have a bond. Oh, flipping out. I ain't going to get that off the wood though. Oh, no, that's well and truly on. MS300, we all know it sticks to silicone. Is it going to peel off the wood? No. Ugh, ouch. Yeah, that ain't coming off. And this is a test, as I say, more for the wood than it was the liner. But I am going to give it, although that's still stuck fast. No, because it wasn't a test on the liner. We know MS300 works better on liners. But yeah, the CT1 and the MS300 on wood, I'm going to give a point each again. And poor old HA6 is trailing by a mile. So yeah, we've got some PVC pipe. We'll start with the woven liner, shall we? HA6, CT1, MS300. But which one has stuck better to the actual pipe itself? Let's find out. Well, that's surprising, considering how badly it's done on everything else. Yeah. The HA6 has actually bonded really, really well to the pipe. I mean, again, you can see how stretchy it is before it tears. It really is flexible. I mean, that could be quite good for if you've got leaks in your pipe joints. But let's see. Ooh, CT1's coming off. Oh dear. CT1, you've let me down on this one. HA6 is in the lead. Is it going to beat MS300? No. Is the answer to that. Not on this planet. There's no chance of getting either of them off though. I don't know if you can tell by how purple my thumb is going, but I am putting some pressure on that to try and scrape that off. But yeah, no, that is going to be a tie for MS300 and HA6. HA6 has got a point. Yeah, first test, CT1 has let me down. But we'll see if it gets the same results on the other side of the pipe. Again, I don't know why I've done EDPM liner to pipe as well, because we're not really testing the liner anymore. We know which one works better on the liner. MS300. Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to take that off. Will the CT1 come off again, or was it a fluke, or maybe just a slightly dirty bit of pipe? Again, it's one of those things. I probably could get it all off if I spent enough time. It is stuck better to this side than it was the other side, but yeah, it's still ain't no MS300 on pipe. And again, I'm peeling off the raised edges on the HA6, but it ain't coming off the pipe anytime soon. So again, that's going to be a tie for HA6 and MS300, and as it was the same on the other side, I ain't even going to bother making a note of it. Now, I've stuck some pipe to some pipe, and I did this because people quite often, if you've got a leak around a joint, you know, you might want to just dry it off and get your nearest silicone. So which one is going to cause me the biggest ache in my finger trying to pull this off? This is the HA6. Well, it did come off, but that was a fair bit of force to pull that off. CT1, about the same. And yeah, the CT1 that has just popped off there as well. So yeah, HA6 is better on PVC pipe than CT1. And the MS300, yeah, again. Ooh, that's peeling off a little bit. Not that side though, it could have just been a speck of dirt or dust under that section. Yeah, ain't coming off that one. Nope, just snapped it. Yeah, so again, tie again. I'm not going to bother writing that down because PVC pipe is a tie between HA6 and MS300. And the last one that I have here, now this is not stainless steel, this is an aluminium pole, but I didn't have any stainless steel kicking about because it's blooming expensive. So yeah, this is as good as we're going to get, I'm afraid. Similar principle, but I know it's going to be a different grade, so the results could vary, but we'll see anyway. So we all know woven liner is not going to stick to none of that. Nope. But other silicone is going to stick to the metal. Yeah. HA6 is well and truly stuck. Okay, HA6 sticks to metal pretty darn good. CT1. Ridiculously stuck. Yeah, I ain't getting that off. MS300. Yeah, exactly the same. It's certainly the stickier of them all. For firmness and strength, I'd say it's very, very similar to CT1. It felt similar when applying it, whereas as I've shown you many times before, this, it just feels like a real soft rubber, whereas this feels like almost more like an eraser type rubber, whereas this feels like a kiddie's play toy squidgy rubber. Yeah, so I'm going to have to give it a tie again, I think. They're all, there's no chance I'm getting any of them off. So yeah, it's a three-way tie on that one. And I'm guessing, as long as the pole was clean, it's going to be similar results on this side. Again, HA6 doesn't stick to rubber, but it does stick to metal. CT1 does stick to rubber and to metal. I'll just split the CT1 clean in half. MS300. Ooh, sorry guys. Nah, that's three things I've not been able to get the MS300 off. One, there you go. There you go. Right, and it's off. But yeah, no, it's a three-way tie on the metal. Yeah. So that was interesting. Bit of a different result than I was actually expecting or anticipating. So yeah, quite impressed, Carl. That is one hell of a silicone you've got there, mate. Should be well proud and chuffed with yourself. So yeah, we'll quick breakdown and run through. So yeah, value for money, HA6 hands down, but you pay for what you get, because HA6 is obviously lost by miles overall, although it does work really well with glass. Not as good as MS300, but it still does work really well with glass, and it also works really well on PVC pipe, which is interesting. So if you're buying it for either of those two jobs, just glass to glass, mind you, because it doesn't stick very well to any of the liners, but yeah, if you're looking to stick glass to glass, or even glass to PVC pipe, or PVC pipe to PVC pipe, and because of the value for money, I probably would buy a tube of HA6. For liners, any of the liners, even though nothing sticks to a woven liner, I would still go for MS300, because by far it's the best with EDPM, and although they all peeled off relatively, well, really easy off the woven liner, the MS300 did feel the stiffest when pulling away. Although it still peeled freely, it had a little bit more of a bond to it than what HA6 and CT1 did. Yeah, and then lastly is the metal, which was a three-way tie. So yeah, again, if you're if you need to stick something metal to glass or metal to PVC pipe, again, because of the cost value, I probably still would reach for the HA6. But if I was doing anything on the pond with the liner, i.e. liner to window, liner to wood, liner to PVC, liner to anything, liner to metal, because HA6 doesn't stick to a lot of them, then I'm gonna scrap the CT1. I've still got 12 tubes of that in the old cupboard, but even though that is slightly cheaper in price, as I say, you do get 10 millilitres, sorry, less in the tube than you do with the MS300. So yeah, cost wise these guys are pretty much identical realistically, because 20p more expensive, 10mm more in liquid, so that could just finish a job, but cost you 20p to do it. Whereas I suppose if that was an inch short on a job, you wish you would have had that extra 10mm, then you've got to get another tube of this, and then it's become quite expensive. So yeah, the overall winner, as you can see by the stats down there, is the MS300 by far, by a landslide. So Carl, yeah, you have come up with a fantastic silicone there, buddy. The only thing that I would like to see improved with that silicone is, if you can, if it's not possible, it's not the end of the world, but the thing that I love about the CT1 tubes, when you buy them, they come with a screw cap lid, and I bet any money if I unscrew this, that is still ever so slightly wet, and I'd only have, now I'm covered in CT1. Oops. Yeah, and that's obviously been sat out in this heat for 2 weeks. I need something to wipe it on. I knew I would need something, so I got me a bit of kitchen roll. Wash that off later. But yeah, whereas the top of this, because again it's been sat out and they haven't moved from this spot for the 2 weeks while they were setting, but as you can see, that the top of that is hard as nails. So yeah, little lid. Yes, you can fold the silicone. I do it with a HA6 quite often. You can fold the silicone down over the tube, and that way when you rip it off, if you made a good enough seal as the skin dries, the rest of it is normally okay. So you can do that, and obviously I'd have to do that with the old MS300. But yeah, Carl, if you're watching, mate, and you can add a screw top lid to that, then that is the perfect product. And on that note, guys, thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's tests, and we will catch you all on the next one.